talk about self-sabotage because I had never experienced outside of the Cosby Show.
Right.
What the dynamic of a real family looked like. Father was a hard worker. Mother was very educated and a hard worker as well. I'd never seen that dynamic before.
Right.
And they all live under the same roof and eat dinner together. And so when it came time to being a wife, I barely knew how to be a woman.
Right.
So I've been told that I shoot first and ask questions later.
Thank you. Well, it's another episode of Say Something with Cheré. Actually, it's the last episode as we close out with our season 5 finale. I got my girlfriends back with me, and they're going to talk about insecurities and self-sabotaging. Meet me on the set when we have this great conversation. Welcome back again. I said I got my girlfriends here. Y'all know how the girlfriend edition goes live and wild, but I got a new one to the edition today. My girl Vassier, and I've been trying to get her on the show for a month now, and she's finally here. Vassier Serrano, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I am the beauty, okay? The beauty. I'm in the presence.
Keeping it going. Vassier, what radio show are you on?
I'm on Radio 1's Classics 1029 here in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I'm your weekend girl, Vassier, Saturday, Sunday, 10 to 3. I might be moonlighting a little bit right now.
What? See, okay. Listen to her voice. When I first met Vassier, I was like, oh, I want to talk to the girl.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I was like,
Yeah, so it comes out every now and then.
It's so sexy.
It's
Yeah.
sexy.
Sexy.
Marcus,
They say blondes have more fun. That's
Yes,
Vassier, okay?
yes.
And of course, Erianna is back with us, our organizer. No, not organizer. I mean, you are a professional organizer. If you need your closet, your virtual assistant, anything that need to be organized, Erianna is your girl, okay? That's her. And then, of course, Rhonda Anita is back, our real estate agent, real estate leading lady in Atlanta. Let me get that right first. Hello. Yes, and she's also a healing coach. So, ladies, we're back about to jump right in because y'all know they want all the tea. They want all the business. Now, because it is season 5, I have to warn you that they are going to be bringing in surprise guests. So, if you hear a doorbell, that means somebody has popped up to surprise us. It's been happening every episode. So, whoever comes, they're going to sit down and join in the conversation, okay? Let's just hope they can keep up.
Oh, you put them next to me?
Yeah, next to you. Be nice. So I wanted to talk about today self-sabotaging and insecurities, right? And it sounds deep, but it's really not. So take a moment and think. I'm gonna go first. Think about a time. You're at fault now. We're not gonna blame anybody. Think about the time where you sabotaged a relationship or friendship. So for me, I remember we had this group of friends and we used to kick it. We was called the 2 Live Crew, baby. We used to kick it, honey. And we got into an argument because we had a weekend shindig and we had all these festivities. Well, one person kind of left us hanging and we all had a problem with it. So we decided we'd get on a phone call and talk about it, have a come to Jesus meeting. Well, in that meeting, the one person got very, very vocal, the one who was the one that fought, and she was cussing us all out. Now I'm very territorial over my friends, okay, especially if you became a friend through me. Like, these my friends, don't disrespect them, because you know. So now the mama beast is raising up in me and I'm defending them. So I'm just like, you don't talk to them like that. But really what it was, her cursing was a trigger for me from domestic violence. She didn't know that though. So I went off on her heavy, and I did not talk to her for a whole year. Now, mind you, after the call, everybody was calling me like, okay, it just got wild. Get back on the call. Let's talk. You know, she even reached out 2 or 3 times to talk to me. Baby, I didn't answer that phone. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Next thing I know, it was a year later. When we finally talked, she expressed that she had a trigger that was pushed. And then I told her about my trigger. So once we sat there and we got that out, you know, tears flowed and we apologized, that friendship just never came back. It just never was reconciled because I think damage was just done. Yeah. Even through the apology, we just can't reconcile it. And so to this day, I feel like, now I'm queen cut them off. I'm quick to cut somebody off. You know, okay, listen, they say fire fast and hire slow. That's what I do. I fire fast and I hire slow.
I haven't even heard that yet.
Fire fast, hire slow. I'm careful how I'm going to give you access to me, if you're going to even get access. But once I see you don't deserve it, I will fire you quickly. Dismiss.
Fire fast, hire slow.
So with this one, I was like, I should have humbled myself enough to receive that apology and listen to my other friends when they try to bring us together. And so in that, my boldness, my big-headedness, whatever it was, like, I know I sabotaged that friendship, and that was on me, you know. But, and I look back today, I wish that's probably the only relationship that I would want to resolve or reconcile in, even though it's been years now, 5 years or so. But that, and there goes the doorbell. Y'all got a few extra seconds, so we're gonna find out who is at the doorbell. We got another guest. I told y'all we got surprise guests coming in, so let's see who this is, y'all. Okay.
Who's coming at the door? Who's that knocking?
Creeping in.
That is truly a surprise.
I love it.
Who got her calendar?
I love this. I love this.
Priyanka, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Oh, I love it. Are you sitting down? I'm speechless.
Show you some love.
Thank
I love this right now.
you so much. I love you. She is. Pri is an amazing friend. Listen, whoever has access to her you're blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed that you can come and see me. You are. Oh, I can't talk. You just really surprised me.
Oh my gosh.
Pri, oh my gosh. Oh, your heart is amazing.
Girl, I was so nervous.
Oh, you got me taking on my own show. I'm like, thank you so much for coming.
Congratulations on your season and stuff. You look beautiful.
Thank you so much. You look amazing too. You so fly. Why you always fly? Bling, 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 bling.
Oh my gosh.
So you're leaving us. Oh, well, thank you so much. This team, you guys got me.
They did.
Yeah, got me good. Pri, say hi to everybody. And you're leaving us. Well, she's not staying, but this was an amazing surprise. Like, I didn't even know I could jump in these shoes. These shoes hurt my feet.
Oh gosh.
Look, I was already on you too.
You are amazing. Jeez. Happy season 5. Thank you. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Jeez. Let me gather myself. What do church folks say?
Yeah, I know. Her schedule be.
Her schedule is crazy. Priyanka is a real friend. I love her. So, I'm learning to appreciate friendships more and more now, especially
when they pop up.
on
the busy schedule.
And time is limited.
and time is limited.
Yeah.
So when did you sabotage? I know y'all. When did you sabotage a
Man,
friendship?
I think
relationship?
Dang, she was like, I know y'all done
Listen, I'm probably queen of sabotage. You said pick a story. So I've been told that I shoot first and ask questions later.
Sound like the police.
It's,
I mean, no, that was funny.
no, really. Like, I will assume something first and then get the backstory, which is something that I'm working on. But that is, I can't give you one story.
Better go through them archives.
There's so many, but I would say definitely in romantic relationships, if I see a sense of inconsistency change, and it could be something as simple as I text you in the morning, and then you don't text me this morning. It could be one day, and in my mind, it's somebody else.
I see how you are.
Yeah. And it's like, but you need to. I've learned you got to give time to see, is this a changed behavior,
Yes.
or is this
Yeah.
I changed my mind. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'll shoot first and accuse first. Time's fast. I will accuse first and then get the backstory. So that's something I have been working on and have gotten a little bit better.
But do you know why you do that?
It's like she was talking about triggers. So maybe it could be the trigger of abandonment, right? And so then I feel like if you're there, you're going to be consistent all the way through. But people have a bad day. People wake up late. People got, a meeting that they had to be brought into.
Oh, okay. Okay, well.
Well, I don't know, but they let my heart calm down for the first one.
I know.
Here we go. It's
And my heart beating fast.
It's
I'm getting hot.
There's the doorbell. That means there's another guest coming. You want to hold these for me? Because I'm going to jump out my shoes. How they get you out here, Andre?
I don't know, but I'm here. Good to see you.
My teeth hurt. I got all these Mr. Ed teeth. Are you seeing my
Just
It's good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Andre's been on the show. Yes, Andre was on this season. No, last season. And he talked about his diagnosis, overcoming myasthenia gravis.
Yes.
I said it right.
Girl, that's a big
Woo.
one. Yeah.
Well, we spent a lot of time. Andre is my dear friend. I think I met him when Karina was like 7 years old, and she's 25 today.
Today?
And, yeah, well,
Oh.
last week she turned
Oh,
25,
okay.
but as of right now. And Andre, true friend, just always been there, always supportive. Like, you showed up today. How'd they get you out here, Andre?
I was on spring break this week, so I said I wasn't gonna go out of town. So when Patrick asked me, I was like, "Sure, you know I'll be here."
That's what I'm talking about.
I love you for that. I'm gonna put these teeth away. We're gonna keep going.
They nice teeth.
Oh
Nice
gosh, thank you. I'm learning to receive love. I give a lot, and I'm learning. Oh, I'm crying. I'm learning to receive stuff back. So I'm super excited that you're here, all of you. Andre, we were talking about self-sabotage, sabotaging relationships, friendships, and through that, the insecurities where they may come from. And Rhonda was just sharing that she has noticed self-sabotage in relationships from inconsistency. Because they may text today, but not tomorrow. Now it's like, red flag, what you doing? But they could just be busy, you know? And Vassier asked, like, where'd that come from? And she talked about it could have been maybe abandonment. It's a trigger. And so we were trying to get down the line to find out other situations, a situation where you may have sabotaged, not nobody else, but where you actually did the damage in the friendship or relationship. So one of Vassier or Erianna can go.
Okay. So I guess I'm probably like you a little bit, Rhonda. I'm gonna go through my mental archives of self-sabotage situations. I have self-sabotaging situations of opportunities, of relationships, of friends. So let's think of a more recent one. I like that. More recently, I think that I have probably self-sabotage a relationship with my dad. I think so. Ooh, this is gonna be a tough one for me. But I think it'd be good for people to hear, actually. So maybe it could save a relationship with a daughter and dad out there.
Absolutely.
But I think that my dad was a military dad. He was financially there, but just not physically. And I feel like he probably feels that our family or my brothers and I, we don't give him enough credit for being there financially. And I know recently, it was like last year in July, we had got into a heated discussion on the phone. And I'm not going to go into full details because we really don't have time for that. But, I didn't realize that I had resentment towards my dad, actually my mom and dad. I would go around saying, it's so important to have a good relationship with your parents and family. And I would say that, but it wasn't real. Like, I was saying it, but it wasn't like, I didn't know it was real. I didn't know it wasn't real though. So I've been in therapy.
talked yourself
Yeah, I talked myself into believing it, but my heart, that wasn't true to my heart.
Wow.
So my dad, I think he feels like a punching bag because when and he doesn't know the things that I go through or what's going on with me, but it still doesn't mean that, okay, you get on your phone with your dad, he says something I don't like. And my dad is brash. He can be very
Military.
he's military, yeah. So but the thing is, my dad is an individual. He's a man. He has thoughts and ideas and dreams, and he has feelings, you know, even though he acts robotic and militant. He doesn't want to be treated like that,
Right.
you know, but I never got a chance to really know my dad.
Okay.
I don't know him as much as maybe his wife or like people that are close to him. My dad will tell me he doesn't have like a lot of like friends and people that he talks to and stuff.
Right.
So I think that when he's brash, my mom is like loving and nurturing. But my dad is real and raw. Like my dad's side of the
like your
family,
dad.
they speak it. My mom, she gonna tell me the truth, but she cares about how you feel. My dad, I don't care how you feel. I'm telling you what it is. Right. It could sound ugly, and I'm emotional, and I wear my feelings on my sleeve. So he was speaking some things that I didn't like regarding life situations, my partner, certain things, and I was like, well, if you, I think, what did I say? I said something along the lines about what happened to me when I was 12 and losing my virginity and stuff. And or at a really young age, 11 or whatever, and I was pained because I just was in so much pain. So I let that out on him on the phone when really he was just making his comment about my relationship and certain things.
Do you blame him for not being there physically?
So in truth, sometimes I just think that if my dad was physically there, or if I had that type of anybody, even if it's just not my dad, like my mom, if someone was just like visual in my like I guess active or like notice me or anything, would certain things have happened to me? Would I have made certain decisions? So I'd be like, oh, I suck. You suck at life. You suck at this. You're not gonna get this. You're not. So when my dad is making a comment about my partner choices, I'm like, well, you had all the years to have input, but it's not. It's still coming from a very immature, lack of emotional intelligence. We're grown. I'm 29 today. Like, so it's at the point where it's like, love, talk to your dad, have that relationship with him, and then sit down and have a deep conversation with him. Don't treat him like a robot. Don't throw that out there. And I don't do that often, but this just was a triggered conversation. And I realized it's just like, oh, it's easier to push people away or not build that. So you put that effort in. And when I say sabotage, it's like, you really want the relationship with your dad, but you got to do the work to heal so you can have conversations. He's your father. He's going to have an input and a say on who's in your life, how things are operating. And he should, because he loves me. And that's what he did. So my dad can be mean or he can be brash or whatever you want to call it, but he only means well.
Well, I'm glad that you recognize that, though. That's big of you to actually see through that. Like, he means well. This is me and my triggers.
This is me and my triggers and my pain and unhealed and lack of emotion and all of that, and recently being diagnosed with PTSD. So it's like severe things that I went through that he probably doesn't know because he wasn't there. My mama don't even know some, so it's just like.
So you need to have that conversation.
Or I had to realize too, some people he might not want to have that conversation.
Oh, that's good.
So I have to accept.
That's good.
I might not have that conversation with him.
Good.
I bet you I'm in therapy though.
I know
the therapist about to hear about. She about to hear all of it.
Everything.
All of it.
Use the benefits, girl.
Use the benefits, because that's what we're doing. Yeah. And I will heal, and I don't have to. I can have a healthy relationship with my father if he's willing and moving forward. So that I think just that personal relationship. I need to. I feel like I kind of felt a little undeserving, or I felt a little, or getting triggered. So then I'm kind of failing myself, failing my dad in that situation. So it's just one of those things. I feel like that was a more recent thing.
Well, I'm glad that you actually worked through all of that though, and then realized it was you. And how you could both heal from that. Vassier?
So. I will spare you the long story because some of it. Well, for many of you who do not know, Cheré and I actually met. I was an ambassador for a domestic violence organization, an advocacy organization.
No, we met.
We
on
met
Morning
in
with Michael. It's
correct.
right in
we
radio.
met in radio.
Yeah.
However,
And then we partnered. Yeah, then we came together.
That's how I learned about the organization was through
Yes.
you. So with that being said, you know a little of my history and self-sabotage, and it is something that I'm challenged with daily, you know, in many relationships stemming from that experience as a child. So it wasn't for me, it was child abuse. It's not called domestic violence when it's not a partner that's with you. So, however, it has some of the same symptoms, and you know, and so that when you're taken from your parents at a young age, and then you're transitioning through life, trying to find your way, trying to fit in, trying to feel like you weren't aborted after you were born, you do have a challenge with understanding relationships as if you are deserving, because you've never seen this before. So, as you well know, I've been married 3 times. I've got championship of rings now, I guess. I don't know. I didn't know the third time was not a charm, but I digress. So, my first marriage. Talk about self-sabotage, because I had never experienced outside of the Cosby Show what the dynamic of a real family looked like. I couldn't understand some of the sacrifices that man was making to genuinely love Vassier for who Vassier was, because I'd never seen that demonstrated before. You know, I was moved around. I was in foster care. I was taken from my father, moved to be with my mother, in foster care by 14. And so at that point, I was just a pawn in life and a ward of a state. And so I didn't know what real love was supposed to look like. So when I met this amazing man on a blind date when I was in high school, he was college educated. Actually, he was in college. And he treated me well. He came from that background. His parents were together 20 plus years. His other sibling at that point was 3 years, and he was like 20. He was 23, and I think his little brother was now 3 years old. Well, actually, his mom was pregnant when I met them. So it's a 20-year difference between he and his sibling, right? But you got a chance to see a baby in the household. This young man in college. Father was a hard worker. Mother was very educated and a hard worker as well. I'd never seen that dynamic before. And they all live under the same roof and eat dinner together, and mom cooks, and what's that, a pressure cooker? Who does that? You know, these things I'd never seen before. And so when it came time to being a wife, I barely knew how to be a woman.
No, absolutely.
And so therefore I self-sabotage in that relationship, because with the first hiccup, I didn't understand how to resolve issues, because I'd never been taught that. I'd never seen that done. So yeah. But even in that mindset, moving forward in relationships, I have recently learned about myself that I didn't even know how to ask for help. Because I became a place for myself. I'm always lending myself to others and helping whatever it is they have going on. And rarely do I sit down and say, what are Vassier's needs? And is it okay for anyone to answer that call? And my best friend put me on. My car had gotten broken into a couple of months ago, and I reached out to him because I needed somebody to help me clean up this glass, and whatever those next steps were. And I called him, and he didn't answer. And immediately, I totally forgot about what my needs were, and was like, well, if he didn't answer and call me back, then he must be busy. Is there something going on with him? Oh my gosh, that's not like him not to respond. Blah 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 blah.
That's me.
And
that's that self-sabotage.
Here was the word that he gave me, and didn't know he was giving me a word. He says, I would have called back, but you never told me you needed help. I was like, wow. So I had to think about it. It was like, did a little bit of that exist in some of my other relationships? And so, you know, that hire slow, fire quick. Short tolerance, very short fuse for BS with me. And so I'm learning the process through that. I'm learning to be more patient and noticing that there is a little self-sabotage, even in the workspace. When people start giving you accolades and, you know, telling you how much they appreciate you, and you have to make up an excuse to make them laugh every time because you're not accepting that.
That's a whole different.
So I'm learning. I'm in your face. I'm gonna go ahead and bow out, but that's
trying to take the attention off of you, and they're trying to give it to you. Or you sit up in your mind and try to think, what do I say about them next? How do I match what they just said about me instead of just receive it?
Absolutely.
That's so funny. We were in the bathroom. Oh, I'm sorry. She had said, Rhonda, I can see you having your own show. And I said, I look interesting. I don't have anything interesting to say.
Oh, police.
No.
We sitting there talking. I was like, Rhonda, you need to
Wow. You do?
Yes. But just that quick, I said to her, no, I don't, I'm not good enough for that.
Oh, wow.
I can do this and I can do that, but I'm not good enough for that. And I was like, that's self-sabotage.
That is. That right there.
Yeah.
Because we talked about that big, that extra. That
Yes.
I was like, Rhonda, you.
She definitely. Housewife of Atlanta, ain't none of y'all married no way. Put Rhonda on there. Just might as well.
I can't do it. She said, ain't none of y'all married.
Bring Vassier with you. Might as well. Bring them. Talk about extrosity. Listen, Nene Rhonda. There it is. Nene Rhonda, okay?
Podcast.
Something
Rhonda. I was like,
But
it was just the thought that you don't even realize.
you don't realize it.
And one thing I was writing down earlier driving here is the negative self-talk that we say to ourselves is a way that we extract our own power.
Yeah.
And I did it just that quickly.
That quick. And look how easy the devil just set it up to your whole day. You speaking positive, you're making yourself aware of the things you do, and then the enemy walk you right into it and you self-sabotage again.
Right there. Yeah.
But listen, in that space, and going back to the relationship space real quick, that definitely is something that obviously resonates with us. And that might be something that we're putting ourselves in position when it comes to being courted, because I ain't courting nobody. So being courted, it's sometimes in that space we do look at, our possible suitors, and we're like, they're saying these things about us, but is it true?
Yeah.
Right? Are they being genuine? So I sit
He
back and I
says that
watch
to all the women. Oh, what does he want from me?
Now that do be the case though. That be the case in some cases.
Yeah.
Sometimes that be the case.
Fire
slow,
Fire fast.
That slow part. Like,
You don't
gotta
even.
be
It's not your
direct.
job to sit there and figure out if he's doing it to everybody else. He is doing it to you. And if it doesn't feel genuine, then it's like, baby, just go ahead, just give it to somebody else. Pick somebody else, because I don't need it.
But do receive some of these compliments because they are real.
I accept.
Sabotage part, we be like, it's not this, it's not the baby. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. And I know why you feel that way. And I know why you feel that way.
How about you, Andrea? Have you had a situation?
Absolutely. I mean, it's been so many of them. That's why I told her, stop knocking at my door. I mean, for me, I feel like we as people, we have all experienced some level of trauma in our life, whether it be a relationship, whether it be growing up with our families, just all around trauma some way. And so to me, like, I've self-sabotaged with dating and stuff like that with different people. I've self-sabotaged relationships with family and friends. But what I am learning now, my goal or intention is not to self-sabotage anything.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to have the conversations with people that I need to have with them, whatever, regardless of how uncomfortable it may make me feel or how uncomfortable they may get about it. I need to be honest so you can see the purity and the genuineness in me. And that's what I've learned about in order to kind of stop self-sabotage and stuff, or so people don't misunderstand me.
Yeah.
Because I want to be honest with you about how I feel. So, I mean, definitely right now here in the dating scene, on the dating life right now, like, it's real easy to self-sabotage stuff because, like you said, like, I'll be like, what type of bullshit is this? I mean, immediately. Like, for real, that's just how I feel.
That's how you feel.
But I don't really say that to them, but I'll ask them a question, like, why you say that or what you mean by that, just so I can get clarity.
So you get clarity.
And I don't want you to be looking at my face. And sometimes those facial expressions that I can give you, they be like, damn, like.
Your face,
your face
needs delivery.
It's already delivering the message that I refuse to say because I don't want you to be upset with me. But the face is already giving that.
Yes.
So, I mean.
The face is just
The face is giving.
But I just learned I really love genuine people. Like, because we have to understand as people that everybody don't have the same experiences that we have.
That's right.
So sometimes when you're talking to somebody, you may have to go a little deeper in that or break it down a little bit so they can understand where you're coming from. And I've learned to do that with all people. You know what I'm saying? As long as I don't have to overdo it, but I want you to understand what I'm saying to you. Especially by being a counselor. So that's,
I don't know though. I hear what you're saying. I feel like I'm in the season, and maybe because I just turned 47, y'all. I don't know. Maybe.
47.
Maybe
looking like she's 32.
Thank you. I received that. Maybe it's the Aries Nation 2024. I don't know, but I feel like I'm in the season, and it may not be fair, so don't beat me up, y'all, but I feel like you need to come whole, right? Anything new approaching my life, asking for access, need to be whole. I don't desire to even go the step further to dig into where you're not healed or tap into why you may be acting the way that you're acting. I don't even have the desire. I instantly lose interest in even being a friend or being an acquaintance with you because I don't have the capacity, for one, to try to figure out what you're going on. Maybe somebody else is assigned to you. God didn't assign me for that, you know? And sometimes I feel bad, or my good friends make me feel bad, be trying to help me find compassion. But I'd be like, no, I'm over it. Like, I got enough friends to nurture, and I don't need a new one. That's just, and I guess, I don't know if that's good or bad.
But I think, like, the amount of years that I've been friends with you, like,
Yes.
and you've been friends with me, we don't have to do that with each other.
Exactly.
Because I already know you and I know where you're coming from, and I feel that's the same thing with
Exactly.
me. But I'm talking about with other people
With
who I
new
may not
people.
have that amount of those many years of friendships with and stuff like that,
Drop
or
'em,
people
Andre.
in general. Huh?
Drop them.
Drop.
He said drop.
Cause you know what? That's Cheré drop 'em.
We got another doorbell. We got another surprise guest. Andre, it's been amazing having you stop by and be on the set with us.
Thank you.
Before you leave, look into the camera. This is your camera right here. Is this his camera, y'all? Oh, look, that guy there, the handsome guy up there. Look into the camera and tell somebody, give somebody some encouragement as you were fin to do when it comes to self-sabotaging.
For me, Cheré said drop everybody. But for me, I'm always willing to go that extra miles and have that conversation with you or whatever. And a lot of times, I don't feel like everything has to be self-sabotage. I think sometimes people don't understand certain things. So if you need to give somebody a little bit more clarity, don't be afraid to do that.
Okay, well, I agree with that. I
Depending on who it is. Now,
It's called a little grace. A little
Just
grace.
give them a little grace. Some people.
Andre's in his
I want the
grace-giving
grace.
season. His season is giving grace.
Yeah.
To some people.
I know
To
I
some
need
To
it.
some people. To
Giving
some
grace,
no grace.
releasing grace.
I know I need it, so I'm
you.
going to extend it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so
All
I was
right.
like, let me give you a hug. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It was so much nice being on the set with all of you all.
We never had a fella drop by girlfriend.
No, we haven't.
I'm coming in hot.
Wait, I'm coming in hot. I'm like,
What's your
Oh, my God.
your cheeks gonna break. Your cheeks gonna break.
Hold her up back here. Listen, somebody get this lady some tissue.
I want to be introduced to this beautiful woman. I don't even know. I'm trying to see who up in here.
Y'all
Y'all done shut the show down. Y'all done shut the show down. She done shut the show down.
This one of won't you come moments. Won't you come? Does anybody
Just
know?
shut the show down. Just shut the show down.
Oh, I love it. Y'all gonna need to give that baby some tissue.
Yeah, she gonna need something.
I got some tissue.
She held it together for too long. She held it together for too long.
Oh,
I
God.
love you. And I'm
Thank
proud of
you.
you. Everything that you've done. Thank you for pouring into people and just giving all of yourself to people. So you get your flowers.
Don't you make me cry.
Thank y'all for supporting her. She's a sweetheart.
Oh,
You
God.
are too. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh.
Jeanette, I love you so much. Oh. Ah.
Get it out.
Y'all just, how did y'all make this
My
happen?
name is Jeanette.
Yes.
Good friend.
Good friend.
Good
Long
sis.
time
A
friend.
long time friend. Jeanette is, I know they block you from the camera. Jeanette is good sis. Long time friend. Her heart is pure. God just places me around people with pure hearts. Her heart is pure and she makes the time for me. Always have. Before I even really knew her, you just made the time and we connected and she loved me out the gate. And not just me, I base my friendships on, or my respect for people, not just how they treat me, but how they treat other people around them.
Yes.
And she next to Jesus, y'all.
She next to him, y'all.
Oh, that's too much.
She on the main line.
I love those who love you. So
Praise God.
it makes it easy to love your friends because I know you're good people. You're good seed. So You know.
I'm so happy you came. Thank you so. I love Jeanette. Jeanette has been with me too.
I'm getting
Since
surprised.
I started this show in 2015, before I shot one episode, when we didn't know we was doing, y'all, we did not know what we was doing. And I went to Jeanette and I was like, okay, so when you starting something new, you be scared, right? You just be scared out your mind, you do it. And she was just so kind to me, and I learned that she was Lily's sister from SWV, everybody. Jeanette is everywhere. She really the superstar. Lily would probably tell you she's the superstar. She is. But she's so genuine. She don't get caught up in none of that stuff. And I went to Jeanette and I was like, I need Lily for the pilot. So nobody ain't know my name at all, okay? She made that call, and of course, Lily, thank you to you, Lily, for coming. But she didn't hesitate to me at all or nothing. And the fact that she just made it happen, I say made it happen because she's a big sister.
She listened to you.
And from there, I didn't have to ask anything. And then at that same church I talked about, I joined her. Jeanette was over the young women. And I didn't want to join because I was like, them is little girls, you know. But I got in. She was like, you need to come. Just come and see. And I was just like, I just melted. And I've been stuck to her coattail, many of us, ever since then. And I just never forget. I know sometimes you probably wonder, like, why is this girl so crazy about me? I never forget that what you poured into me and those young women. And you just continue to do it every day, Jeanette.
It's great to meet you, Jeanette.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They did their job, boy. They
Yeah.
set this
Y'all,
Are you staying? Are you
Say
leaving?
something, you all right?
I came out to say hi.
Okay.
I had a time slot and I missed it, but no, it's all good. I just want. I would have had Lily to come. I said, you right down the street. Come meet me.
Yeah.
You gonna come this way and spread love while you walking away from here. You gonna spread love all the way down.
From Lawrenceville.
Yes.
I was like, I'm already en route, Patrick. I'm not turning around. I'm coming if I got a hook her neck. I'm
That's
coming.
it. Bless
Amen.
God.
So
Good to
y'all
see
be
you.
good.
Good to see you.
I love you.
Especially
Thank
before,
you.
don't you leave. Don't you leave.
Don't leave.
Yes, you're gonna give me a hug before you leave.
Oh, yes.
She wants some of that
Everybody want that.
That's it. Y'all want one too?
That's it. Everybody get some more. Tell Lily I love her too.
Right. Oh Lord. And me too. Oh, that's what they do. Okay. They're like,
Wow. My makeup look okay? Jeez, because that was wow. I should get.
You got a little bit.
Is it smudge?
You did not.
Did we not hear the doorbell? Oh, you look amazing.
You know where to find it. You look so pretty. Jevonne is back. Oh my gosh. Jovi, I thought you was out of town.
Yeah.
She laughed.
It was the set.
My mouth feel like cotton.
Me too.
I don't know. My cheeks hurt. My teeth. I keep trying to put them away, y'all. I'm sorry. I have
Put her
big
teeth
teeth,
away.
and they just.
Smile that much, she's gonna get stuck like that.
I know.
It's a good place to be stuck.
Shelby. This is really a surprise. What was we talking about?
Cheré, you see them kicks? You see them kicks?
Oh, she's so fly. Oh, she's
Oh my! I just know you like your shoes. You like your
Shoes earlier.
We're talking about self-sabotaging and insecurities, and we all were sharing a moment where we ourselves, not blaming somebody else, but where we self-sabotage relationship or friendship, and it really kind of just routed its way back to insecurities. So can you share a time that you I can't even say the word, y'all. Just that word.
Self-sabotage the friendship?
Or relationship.
Or relationship.
Hasn't been that many.
That means there's been at least one.
This probably gonna be hard for Jevonne because she is.
I can't think of a time where, I mean, honestly speaking, where I guess is this like an intentional thing or unintentional thing? I I can't think of.
Unintentional.
It's
Usually
unintentional.
self-sabotage is unintentional.
It's unintentional.
Honestly, unless somebody can just kind of give me some ideas or examples of what you mean, but I can't.
Well, I
think of
remember
a
that time
when
you called me and I'm just
I can't
No,
think
she
of
didn't have the
where
ledger.
I self-sabotage a relationship or a friendship.
because like I talked about how I feel like the situation with the 2 Live crew, a part of that was me being big-headed and not answering the phone to receive an apology. And, you know, and when we did talk a year later, it was kind of like reconciled, but really too late to save it. But we realized that we both had triggers that were pushed. But had I picked up the phone 8 months earlier, it could have been different, even though the crew was trying to tell me to kind of like, you know, come on, let's have a meeting. And I was like, no, whatever. Looking back, that was a friendship, a true friendship, right? The only one that I would ever say that I would want to reconcile or even have a desire or even think about. And then Rhonda talked about how her relationship, like if inconsistency. If he texts one day, he don't text the next day, it's like, oh, so you must be doing this. And now it's like, that's over because you done started building a character. Erianna talked about with her father, she's just holding him hostage to healing that she just hasn't processed and got through. And Vassier, the same thing with triggers being pushed from her childhood abuse, you know, into relationships and marriage. Her first marriage was an amazing guy, but she just wasn't used to seeing it.
I think. So thank you for those examples. I think for me, there's one friendship that I wish I would have invested a little more time and attention into. There was a young lady who I was really, really close to years ago, and I felt like I was not like she was like we like maybe 3 or 4 years older than me, and we were in our 20s, and she was already making 6 figures. She was getting ready to go off and be a personal assistant to an NBA star, and I just felt like I wasn't like on her level per se or whatever. So I would get invited to certain things and I wouldn't go because I just felt insecure about, you know, who I am and what I was doing in my life at that time. And so now we're not as close as we could be. And I feel like maybe if I would have just been who I am and just, you know, continue to just be there and just be in the midst, you know, who knows where I could be, you know, because I mean, she's doing amazing things right now. Amazing things right now. So that's I guess that's an example of a friendship that I wish I would have been more intentional on keeping a lot. Oh, we're still friends. We're still cool, but I just, like I said, my insecurities about who I was at that time. I'm like, you know, this girl making 6 figures and we 23, 24, and you know what I mean? And so she's already doing her thing, and I just felt like I wasn't on her level.
Have you ever shared that with her?
Never.
Wow.
Well, she watching the show. Make sure you send her a link.
I've never shared that with her.
Well, share the
You
show.
want me to say her name?
Her name is Asani Swan.
Asani. Tell her, Jevonne. Tell her.
What am I talking about?
She already say this message was for you, Asani. Raise your hands and receive it.
I'm
Raise
so
your hands
sorry
right now
for
where you at.
Not cultivating our relationship and our friendship the way I feel like I should have.
That's
That's
great.
big.
That's big. That's beautiful.
That's big.
And then I'm thinking, you saying with you not on a level, but I just even the moments of how I've gotten to know you, and I'm wondering how you were in your 20s. I'm assuming you've just been this amazing light. So I guess, I wish you would have been, but you know, because it's like we get like that in our head, not on level,
I
but
just felt like, you know, she's doing big things, like, you know, and I was like, I just didn't feel like I was. And she's, you know, still, you know, she never made me. It wasn't her.
It wasn't her. Yeah.
It wasn't her that made me feel that way.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, it was me. It wasn't her that made me feel that.
You know why
me.
I'm so emotional about that is because a lot of times we have this idea of our friends that they're doing so good.
Mm-hmm.
You heard the term. Check on your strong friend.
Yeah.
Check on your strong friend.
Yes.
I can only imagine her questioning herself, like, what happened?
Oh, wow.
What happened? Why is my friend not here? Why? You know what I'm saying? Because we perceive that people are on this pedestal, but how lonely it is sometimes to be uptight.
Yeah.
And we want somebody that's genuine,
Yeah.
that knows us from here, that ain't gonna tell our secrets and our skeletons to ride with us and come up. But we have sabotaged those relationships just by feeling like we're not worthy of them.
Yeah.
And so I think about that a lot, just with, sometimes I hear from my family or whatever, like my niece this or my cousin this, and I'm like, have you checked on me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I really deal with every day?
Yeah.
Do you know what the cost is to be who I am?
Ooh, my goodness.
To have to wake up and smile and laugh and overcome the trials that I go through, but social media has painted this picture,
Right.
that I'm, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Forget.
Yeah, so it's just I didn't mean to digress, but I just thought about it because
I think
it's
that's
like,
really, really good point to make.
Yeah.
Because I identify with that. Like, I'm not some big superstar by no means in radio, but think about it. Even on the basic day, thousands of people when I'm at work hear whenever I mess up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you might not think it's a heavy thing to carry, but it really, really is. And what you have to go through mentally to just keep moving, to know that people are watching you stumble whenever you stumble. All ears, in my case, are on you. And then when you spend 98.5% of yourself by yourself with no other interaction, you fight to preserve who you are, to be able to give to the people that you care about. And oftentimes people aren't thinking about coming to pour back into you. How people
they
see
think your
you
cup
in
is
one
full
particular
already.
way. Right. One of the things in dating that irritates me just so. Yes, I do a lot, because besides radio, I work corporately. I got different projects and stuff going on that I'm involved with. But when people say to me in that interest of dating, "Oh, you don't have time," you let me make that determination.
God. How do you know?
You don't know what I'm going through. You don't know how I
Yes.
process. You don't know how I
Yes.
balance. You just have a perception of who
Yeah.
I am. And you're not even lending the best. I can lend my best to you if you allow me. And I say to you, I appreciate you saying what you said about the self-sabotage coming from your perspective. It was
Yeah.
about how you felt about
Like
yourself.
myself, absolutely.
Right? And then also being able to apologize to that young lady and not say, you were doing all of this and you thought you were too good or
Oh, no.
better than me or anything like that.
Yeah.
And some people see that. They
was-
take
yeah.
that and that's the way they feel about it, when the other person has absolutely no idea.
She has no idea I've ever felt that. I guess I didn't feel the need to, share it.
Right.
It was just something that
Because
I
it
was
was you. Yeah.
internalizing. But I remember she had a birthday party, and my thought process, like, all these little, pretty little girls are gonna be there, and I just was not in a good space about myself, and I was like, I'm not gonna go. And she met up with me and was like, yeah, you missed the birthday party. I had gifts for everybody. Like, this was a time for me to celebrate my friends, and you missed it. And I was like, darn, I'm sorry. I had to. I don't know what I was doing during that day, but I could have prioritized and made it, but because of my own personal insecurities and feeling like I wasn't cute enough to be around the cute little girl, it just kind of, I was just like, I'm just not gonna go. And I just, and when she went away, we didn't, when she would come in town, we would meet up for, lunch or something like that. But I just never, like, just being insecure and feeling like she was just too not on my level. I never, some people would be like, girl, you better hang on to that friendship. This girl was a personal assistant to
But that's not
NBA
the way you
star.
saw
She doing
it.
this. And I just felt like that was just too above where I was. So I didn't, stick close. And then she ended up getting married, and I wasn't invited to the wedding. And that just hurt my heart so bad, because I'm like, darn, had I cultivated that relationship,
Right.
she would have never left me out, But, people, your relationships, over the years, people, your things just kind of, people go their separate ways or whatever. And I was like, wow, I would have never been, like, I know I would have been on the guest list had our relationship just continued to just grow and grow and grow and grow. So I was like,
See,
part
you
of that is
shortchanging yourself
my
right
guest
now,
list.
because you might have
You've
been a
been a
part of the bridal
bridesmaid.
party. Exactly.
Oh yeah, the bridal party. Yeah. Well, no, let's not talk about her shortchanging herself. Let's talk about you. When you just said, "I'm not some big fancy radio superstar." Yes, you are.
No, I mean, yes, I am. But
I'm like, what are you talking about?
we're doing the very thing.
The very
right
thing. Self-sabotage is showing up now.
That's happening.
that was my question. Like, why do we do that? But I wanted to touch on what you said, or Rhonda said, like, I can't stand when a person says, well, I know you're busy, so, and I'm like, I'm not busy, just ask me. And I would say, my family probably is the worst ones to do this. And I bug my niece, my family, they're my closest. They're my tribe, my girlfriends, which y'all get on Vassier later on because she ain't made it to a quarterly outing yet, but she been invited. But my family, my niece, my sister, and my 9-year-old great niece, that's my Fab Five right there. Like, I get on my niece, who was my first child. I got her when she was 6 months. I was a junior in high school. Her mother, they dropped her off at our house, and I begged my mom just to keep her because her mom was on drugs. She was a crack baby, and the pimps brought her to us. They tried to sell her, and I was like, can we just keep her, please? And she was on all of these just medication and drugs. She just cried. And so I worked my way through that. That's my first child. To this day, I'll be calling her, okay? And I'm like, now she got a 9-year-old, and I'm calling her. I'm like, oh, I ain't want nothing. And now they say, when I call them, I'd be like, why you answer the phone? You didn't want nothing, Auntie. Why you calling me? And I'm like, you ain't called to talk to me. He's like, well, you be busy. And I cringe when people say that because I literally want to make time. And that's why I purposely do a quarterly girlfriend shower to show my girlfriends that I do have time and I treasure the friendship that we have. That's why I bug my niece and my sister. I don't be want nothing. But I'm going to pick up the phone and call them because you hit on the key thing is that those are people who know your struggles, your weaknesses, your downfalls. They didn't see you. I mean, I didn't been homeless, been in jail, got out of jail, had to go speak somewhere. But those are the people who got your back. And those are the friends that can really support you and say, okay, girl, now you done crying because you got to speak to 50 women tomorrow. So let's get your makeup on and let's, they ain't looking at you like, girl, you ain't ready to speak. You stay down there. You ain't ready. No, we're boosting each other up. So I love that you said that because I hate when people, it makes me cringe. But how do we? Maybe we don't know. Maybe we just guess. But what is your idea of us actually overcoming the self-sabotaging? Like, what have you thought about to say, I'm gonna do better with that?
I was just thinking about this the whole time. I was listening to everybody's stories. And I said to myself, for one, mindset is everything. My mindset has to be, I deserve it.
That's right. That's right.
I deserve what this looks like. This looks too good to be true. But I deserve to be in a healthy, whole, loving relationship, friendship, having, God's blessings and business opportunities overtaking me. I deserve it. Why? Because I'm the apple of his eye. I ain't did nothing to get it, but I deserve it because I am the righteousness of God. Exactly. So just in sitting in that, making myself say, okay, if the person don't want to call you back or then let them go. Let them go. Stop trying to hold on to things that don't want to hold on to you. And be okay with it because that makes room for more.
That's so true. I love that.
Yes.
Mindset. Oh, yes.
Mindset. Yeah. And I think I would say that you have to practice letting it happen, letting it in, letting the love come. So, Jevonne, when you just said that, I was thinking about my god sister because she's younger than me, and this girl's amazing. She's married. She's a mother now, and I just think about like her life and just her life is different than mine's and setup. But sometimes I just didn't feel adequate. Like I was like, well, you older, you doing this, you doing that, all in my head. I'm missing out on life with her family, people. Like I'm telling you, anybody listening to this, you're missing out on life. Like it's not. These people are only here for us. Short, what is it? I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good, like that goes deeper than just the club. Like that's like real life. We could go outside and get hit by a bus. Like you genuinely let it happen when people are like, I had to learn this too. I was like, I want friends. I just want to like, but in real life, it's like, it's a few people. It's gonna be a few good people in your life.
That's right.
Solid.
Yes,
You
right.
gotta love and pour as much as you can into them, just as they do to you. So you don't have to spread your energy so thin.
Yes.
So just let it happen. Like when someone's giving and receiving, I'm so quick to be like, oh, don't do that. Don't pay for that. Don't, like, I'm so quick. Like, it's like a magnet. Like, I'm like, it's an instant thing where I'm like, no. And it's like, girl, let them pour into you. So then you can, like, you can eventually pour, and don't be worried about where you at right now. Let the pouring happen. Because sometimes these people are helping you build blocks. And I have to realize that there's people in my life right now that are pouring into me. And they're going to get me to a spot. But all that love, and then my cup is going to be overflowing.
That's right.
So then guess what? I can pour into somebody
Yes.
else. It's a process. So you have to let your cup be filled.
Yeah. That's a good word.
That's
That's
good.
a good
Amen.
word.
Amen.
Let your cup
Let your cup be
Absolutely.
filled.
I'm going to piggyback on that. There's something that I feel as though is a common theme with all of us up here, and let me know if I'm wrong, but I think we're all givers.
Yes.
I think that's a very common thing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The one thing I would absolutely say is we have to have conversations with ourselves to let ourselves know that we are enough.
Yes.
Because oftentimes we find ourselves in places as givers that if we don't have a place to give, then we don't have a place to fit. Like we'll look at people and we'll give everything out of ourselves and pour.
Yeah.
Pour. But even a vessel needs to be refilled.
Yes.
But if we don't allow ourselves the opportunity to receive, we'll just be an empty vessel, hollow, making noise,
Come on
hollow
now.
in here, crying out, pain we can't really express to anybody else because they won't understand. That pain is mental, it's spiritual, it's emotional. We're constantly pouring.
Yeah.
And so it's like we have a common theme among us, but we are enough. We are enough to receive whatever God has for us. We are enough to receive the love that is poured toward us. And to piggyback off of what you said,
I don't know why this
we got to allow
ourselves
ourselves to be filled, and not just allow ourselves to be filled so that we can give back, but if we rob other people's opportunity to bless us, we're
yes.
robbing them of their
bless-
opportunity to be blessed.
That's so true.
Yeah.
We give and people receive. And from that, if they're of the right mind and right spirit, when they receive, they're able to grow. But if you keep blocking my ability to give, that's a damn, ain't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, now. I'll be taking a collection plate.
And I will not be a damn.
Over here balling.
I
don't know what.
Yeah.
Shoot,
My
man.
thought process is just being intentional. Being intentional about everything that I do as a friend. You know what I mean? Just showing up and just trying my best to just be intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I agree with everything that you said. All of you said it's a mindset. We got to have those conversations daily with ourselves to remind us that we are worthy and be intentional. And that's been my lesson, to be intentional and nurture the friendships that I have, even when they go south, get bumpy, to still show up. And that's been a trial for me. And I would say that God has definitely tested me since I've started the girlfriend edition and made it a staple in the show. It's been the most tested area of my life. And how am I crying? So
Everybody just.
I'm currently feel like a friendship is dissolving. But I feel like the first thing I said was fire fast. Because I've already been through a season of drought with this friend. And in this season, I need you to be mature enough to show up now for me. And I felt, but then the Lord reminded me and said, how dare you not think that the enemy is going to show up when you producing a girlfriend edition that is speaking power and life into women with a panel of other women? How can you not think that the enemy is going to show up and test you there? So I still had to show up. I have to show up firm with love, which is really hard for me. But at the same time, still putting a boundary in place that I have to let you know that this is not okay. You can't do this to me. But every day I'm praying for that person because I feel there's a mental struggle there where I want to walk away. God still has me praying, but not putting myself back in the fire. That makes sense. So
Loving from a distance.
Yes, I'm loving from a distance, and I'm okay with it. I still sleep well at night. You know, I feel I'm okay with my boundary, but I'm also allowing God to pour into me so that my heart doesn't harden.
Yes.
So that I don't block blessings,
Yes.
right?
It's not hard.
In the same, it's been.
No,
it's
I
been-
mean like your heart. It's not.
I can cut a
God
person
is-
off, and you, Jevonne, know, and I can act like you never existed. Literally, tomorrow it would be like you never, and I don't have no ill will toward you. I just have nothing toward you. And so God is definitely working on me in that season, and I get that help from my tribe, from the women that I'm around every day.
Make sure you read Jonah.
Wait, what's that Jonah?
Jonah is the one that got swallowed up by the whale, and the whale spat him out because God gave him a message to take to Nineveh.
Yeah,
And he wouldn't deliver the message. He kicking and screaming like, "You just gonna go ahead and fix it anyway. I ain't going over there and wasting my time." The guy said, "Okay."
Sit in there for the 3 days. Sit in that belly.
On an island, and how dare you cuss out the palmer worm because it ate up your shade? Did I not provide?
Did I not?
Did I not give you a message?
remember
Then
that
get your
story.
behind in Nineveh and do
do
what I
what I
told you
said
to
to
do.
do.
And you let me do what I do for my people.
Yes.
I'm
and
sorry.
It's been hard. No, that was a good story. I didn't even think about that story. I attest everything to accountability. That is really big. I hold myself accountable on everything, and I have to be accountable. If I'm going to be an accountability coach, if I'm going to be pouring into people's lives, I got nieces, daughters, a husband, friends. I got to be accountable, and so that's something that I'm growing in. But all that to say, I'm being intentional, and I'm speaking at those things, and now even today, as we wrap season 5, and you all are here with me today, I am touched. Very, very emotional. I've been emotional all morning, y'all. Just since yesterday, my daddy jumped in. They dropped my daddy on me. I almost lost my breath. But I'm learning to accept, because I really didn't think the people on the list was going to take the time to come out here. I'm in Alpharetta, so I really didn't think people would take time out to come out here for 10 to 15 minutes or just to say hi. And I didn't hold it against them, but there I was thinking like, okay, Cheré, you got friends, but these folks ain't coming all the way to Alpharetta. So when my husband said, the list is full, the people are coming, it just touched my heart. And it was a reminder to say that you're worthy, you're worth it. Right. And the same thing you pour to other people, I'm going to be allowed to be poured back into you. So today has been a day as I end season 5, and with prayers, as me and my team go into season 6, all the doors that God is opening and the people that he has just sent to us, asking how they can help and be sponsors and all of that good stuff. I want to just encourage anybody out there that Say Something started in 2015, and like I said, I did a pilot, and I asked Lily from SWB to be on my show. She's a legend in that she didn't have to say yes, but I did it anyway. I did it scared, and even when I went through a divorce, I had things happen in my life. I lost income. I was homeless for a little while. I continued to still breathe life and to say something. And now it's all with God helping me. And so if there's something that you're out there, you're scared to do, don't let your insecurities hold you back. Don't sabotage what God has put inside you, that dream, that vision, the people that he's sending. Don't self-sabotage it. Don't let your insecurities win. I encourage you to do it. Do it scared. And if all else fails, say something. Don't let nobody mute your voice. I want you to say something. And before we wrap this episode, y'all, today is Erianna's birthday. Erianna is, she's a production assistant. She's over our guest services. And you show up faithfully. And I just want you to know that me and the team, I appreciate you. I love you. You could have been anywhere on your birthday. You came to work and you showed up on to do the episode. You are so loved. I hope that you know that. Your growth, I love everything that God is doing in your life. You are so mature for 29 years old, baby. You teach people every week on this show or every episode that we put out. And I just want you to know that Aries Nation, you're like my little sister. I know I heard you had a hard time this morning and you still showed up and you didn't show a sign of it. Everything still carried on. That I like it to do happen. I like for it to happen. The guest services, the set,
it was really tough this morning.
the team, and you
But
still showed up.
I had you in my mind. I was like, in my head, I was like, Cheré, no need. You can't. Nope. You did this. I did this. I was like, I kept doing that. And then I was in the room and I was praying. And,
Oh, wow.
and I was asking, I was like, help me just because this ain't, I don't know what came over. I think the devil was trying me, you know. And I was like, help me. I come out here. And Naye was like,
Oh.
she just like, out of nowhere. And my
tea.
body didn't want to go. But I felt like the spirit was like,
Get over there.
and I just felt it, and then it just was love. It was just like I wanted to be here. I was like not gonna, but you know I deal with things, and
Yes.
so it was just, but it got turned around. Luckily, within about 20 minutes of me being in here, it got about turned around, and it's just good vibe. It's good love on set. The crew is amazing. I think you really have cultivated good, like you. You know, I made a little video for it because I was like, sometimes I can't think of words to describe.
Oh.
Sometimes they can't form out of my mouth or whatever. Yeah. And just seeing you, people loving you and pour it, this is all it coming back for you. And it's just going to continue to happen. So I just be so like honored to be a part of it.
Oh my
You know,
gosh,
so
I'm honored to have you.
So.
I just pray that this year God takes you and blows your mind. Literally, I pray that He blows your mind just for the seeds that you sow here in me alone. So, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
And our team.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ari. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Don't drop the cake.
Don't drop the cake, Ari.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Lord.
Well, that concludes our episodes for season 5. I would not have it any other way than to end it and wrap it up with my girlfriends. You will see them back again. We'll be back for season 6, and it's going to be amazing. Until the next time, we encourage you to stay something.